Watch this powerful video by God's servant Apostle Mike Kerobo, and God will bless you mightily. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. God bless you.
What are the rudiments for effective prayer? Number one, these are the ingredients for prayer. Effective prayer. Number one, faith. These things I tell you tonight, believe me, if you practice it, you'll be shocked. If your prayer will be powerful, it will be powerful to the degree that these ingredients are present. The Bible said in Hebrews 11 verse 6, and without faith it's impossible to please God. It said, for whoever cometh to him must believe that he is, and that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. If there is no belief or faith in your prayer, that prayer is largely religious. I'm telling you. This is why the apostles didn't say we'll give ourselves to prayer. We will give ourselves to prayer and to the ministry of the word. Because for prayer to be effective, faith is a must. And faith cometh by hearing, hearing by the word of the Lord. You hear some people, they say they are intercessors. They don't have much to do with the word. But if it's prayer, that's their office. Check their lives. They have no result of prayer. I'm telling you. From transformation to direction and wisdom to capacity to change things, they don't have them. They just call themselves intercessors because they built the discipline of prayer. Prayer is more than that. If you want to be effective in prayer, prayer must go hand in hand with the word. Because the extent to which you have faith is the extent to which you please God, and is the extent to which you receive from God. Whoever cometh to him must believe that he is the rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And without faith, it's impossible to please him. So you can't tell me you are a prayer giant if you are not a faith giant. Every prayer giant in history is known by the things that they routed through faith in prayer. They didn't just record them for how long they prayed. How long they prayed, how consistent, very important. I'll talk about it. But every prayer giant in history had testimonies. Elijah prayed, fire came down. That's not a joke, sir. He was part of those chronicled in the hall of fame of faith. Abraham prayed, barrenness, impotence reversed. They changed things when they prayed. Moses prayed, the Red Sea parted. Moses prayed, water came out of the rock. Listen, it's not just lingo, sir. There was a faith element underneath the prayer that was making impact. Samuel prayed, an army was defeated. He said in 1 Samuel 7 verse 12 to 14, he erected a stone, poured oil on it, called it Ebenezer. There he called the name of the Lord. And the Bible said God thundered from heaven, and the armies of the Philistines were discomfited. They ran back. The land that they took from Israel, from Ekron to Gath, was recovered. And they said for the days of Samuel, the hand of God was against the Philistines. Samuel's prayer was equivalent to the work of an army. When they wanted to accuse Samuel that he didn't want to give them a king, Samuel showed up and said, to prove to you that I spoke the mind of God. He said, this is dry season. He said, rain will fall now. Men of prayer were men of rugged faith. Rain will fall now. And while he was yet speaking, he thundered from heaven. Rain started falling. That's how they knew men of prayer. In the days of old, they recorded men of prayer by the public impact they had. Because if you stay with him in the closet, he will prove it in the public. When you see people say they pray and they are still struggling in the public, you are wondering what prayer is that. Jesus said in Matthew 6 verse 6, when you pray in the secret, your heavenly Father that sees in the secret will reward you in public. But why is it not happening? People are not praying from the place of faith. We are a generation that is so shocked when God answers our prayers. But the fathers will tell you what will happen before they pray. Samuel said, rain will fall now. Elijah said, let's see who has God. Let's go to the mountain. Erect your altar, we erect my own. The one that answers by fire is the God. Joshua stood up. The Bible said he spoke publicly. Today they will see God. Let the sun remain upon Ajalon. Let the moon remain upon Gibeon. What? Who have spoken to the constellation? The prophet Isaiah told Hezekiah, choose which one you prefer. Whether the sun should go forward by 10 degrees or go back by 10 degrees. Are you seeing this, man? Were they thinking? Before God whom I stand, there shall be no rain or dew. You talk to a king like that? But there was something they had. Building up yourself upon your most holy faith. Praying in the Holy Ghost. Prayer goes hand in hand with faith. Number 2, rudiment of prayer is heart posture. When you are praying, God is listening to your heart. Because I, the Lord, I search the heart. I test the reins to give to every man as his way should be. Jeremiah 17 verse 11. I search the heart. When you open your mouth, the gate of the heart is open. I go beyond your words into your heart. God is more concerned about the heart of the man speaking than the tongue talking. The reason we are not powerful and effective in prayer is because our heart is not right. Heart posture is too important. And when we speak heart posture, there are 4 things that are cardinal. Number 1, sincerity. Sincerity and purity of motive. Please make sure when you come to God, you are both sincere and your motive is pure. If you want your prayer to be powerful. Go check Hannah out. Praying for a child. The goal was not the blessing of a child. She wanted to respond to Peninnah. God is too big to come into your argument to exonerate you and prove a point with you. Motive was wrong. Prayed and wept, nothing happened. But the day her motive became right, it's no longer about Peninnah. Give me a child, I will give him to serve you. Even a priest that God departed from spoke and God heard. James chapter 4, the Bible tells us. It says you pray and you receive not. Why? It says you ask amiss. You ask that you might heap it on your lust. Those who are praying, their heart must be vetted. God is more interested in the heart. Because it's out of the abundance of the heart that the mouth speaks. Why did God call the prayer of the Pharisees hypocrisy? Their heart posture was wrong. Matthew chapter 6 verse 5. They wanted people to see and applaud them. So they weren't praying because they wanted a relationship. They weren't praying because they wanted to honor God. They weren't praying because they were seeking wisdom and direction. They were not praying to change circumstances. They were not praying to enforce God's will. They were not even praying to exercise their spirit. They wanted men to give them titles and applaud them. And their prayer was an abomination before the Lord. Because prayer can be an abomination if it doesn't come from the place of purity. He said the sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination before the Lord. He said, but the prayer of the upright is a delight. Purity. Number 2, humility. That's heart posture. When you are praying, God is checking out your sincerity. When you are praying, God is weighing your level of brokenness. This is why no matter the answers you get in prayer, don't become a peacock. You will be shocked how the realm will forget you overnight. Too many princes came before you, sir. There are some that wore light. There are some that were clothed in fire. You are not the first being of glory. More glorified ones have shown up. Even Jesus himself, once upon a time, was a man praying from earth. So be careful. Always approach him with brokenness. David was speaking in Psalm 51 verse 17 now. He said the sacrifices of God, they are a broken spirit. He said for a broken and a contrite heart, thou, O God, cannot despise. When a humble man prays, God answers. When a proud man prays, God resists him. James 4:10. He said, humble yourself before the Lord, that in due time he may exhort you. But if you are proud, he will abhor you. This is why 2 Chronicles 7:14 tells us clearly. It says, if we will humble ourselves and pray, he will answer. He will come down. He will heal our land. The whole idea of prayer itself was to model humility. You are coming to God because you have vetted yourself that in yourself is no help. So you don't come to the place of seeking help and you are proud. It's foolishness. Go check out the angels when they prayed. They fell on their faces. They cast their crown. That's not where you show your glory. That's not where you write your records. You are before the king. So the heart posture of humility is important. Number 3, focus. When you are in prayer, be focused. Psalm 46 verse 10 said, be still and know that I am God. Be still. Be still. James 5:16 said, the effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man. Be effectual in your prayer. Be effectual. See, when you go to pray, make sure you pray away distraction. And also make sure you don't create distraction in prayer. Because some of us, we can't pray in public. We are too conscious of what people are thinking. So most of the drama is to send impressions into the hearts of men. Those things will make you not to make the most of prayer. This is why the Bible advises that you go lock yourself. It doesn't mean you shouldn't pray in public. It means your attention should be on God and what you want to achieve in God, not on the externals. Either legitimate concerns of life or the opinions of men. He said, how can you believe when you desire the honor that comes from men? That's why we can't command power. Some of us, because we are conscious of people, even when we are praying in the public, our language, the grammar we use, it's not because that's our default mode. Though. We just want those around to know that the person praying here, leave him home. And you know how God works? That language will become your glory. The tumor will remain. The cancer will remain. You will sweat like this. Even demons will be cast out. So be careful. Make sure you focus solely on God and the things you want to achieve from His realm. That's why we enumerated the purposes of prayer. Lack of focus affects so many persons. It's like diverging that which comes from God's realm. Be convergent so that anything that comes is packaged and you can receive it in its intensity. The secret of intensity is actually focus. When you focus on God, everything that comes, you will receive it. And you will see that it will take you higher in His realm. Be focused. Know why you are there. Stay on it. When I started learning prayer and I realized that this thing is a business of eternity, one of the ways I started seeing prayer was a door into eternity. So when I go to pray, sometimes I off the whole light. Nobody comes to the room where I pray. If you enter, you may not even know somebody is there. I'm trying to break out of the noise of the flesh. Now, you mustn't pray like that. There are people that gain focus when the volume is loud. That's how they get raptured. But find what works for you. There are those who play music at the background. It helps them to be still. But by all means, make sure you enter where He is. Make sure. Because the goal is transport. Enter where transactions happen. It takes focus for intensity to happen. Look at the fathers of old. Even when they were in trouble, they knew how to isolate their attention from their environment and connect to God. John was thrown into boiling oil. He wouldn't die. They tied him to a chariot, dragged him around the city. He wouldn't die. So they threw him to an island called Patmos. Patmos means death. But while he was there, he said, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day. Nothing could distract the guy. I was in the spirit. I heard a sound as of a trumpet. And I turned. So he knew what he was looking for. Don't be all over the place in prayer. You'll be boxing the wind. Focus. And finally, as touching heart posture, make sure there is a deep commitment to God. Let it be like the cry of your heart. Every moment of prayer, make it a deep commitment. Because that in itself is an act of reverence. Psalm 34 verse 17 and 18, he said the righteous cry out and the Lord hears them and delivers them from their trouble. It's a cry of the soul. Prayer shouldn't be a careless thing for you. Even if you have to do it for 10 minutes. Let it be a heart cry. Beyond what you are saying, let God hear your heart. This is what defines reverence in God's presence. The second rudiment of prayer is heart posture. As I round up, because of time, let me list them. Go and do your study. The third rudiment of prayer is revelation. And the fourth rudiment of prayer is persistence and consistency. Anybody who prays once in a while can never be effectual in prayer. Those who are powerful by prayer, they are persistent. That means they pray until they break through. And that means they don't pray once in a while. Prayer is part of their daily menu. It's a lifestyle. That's how you maximize prayer. See, when you are on a matter, don't leave it halfway. That's why Jesus told us the parable in Luke 18. He said the woman troubled the unjust judge. Although the man neither feared God nor man, but the woman won't let her. If you raise anything in prayer, don't have a timeline for it. It's either yes or yes. Until the answer comes, we won't stop. Or until there's a note of victory. Didn't you see how Elijah prayed? 1 Kings 18, from verse 41 to 46. The Bible said he put his head in between his thigh. He prayed, go and check. Nothing. He prayed, go and check. 7 times. Until Elisha came and said, I see something like a man's fist. That's what I'm looking for. Don't stop until you break through. And the way you break through is that either the circumstance changes or you receive a note of victory. That's persistency in prayer. And then consistency. Don't stop because the prayer, what you prayed for has been answered. Make it a lifestyle. Because your prayer is beyond that one thing you are looking for. Many other things will come up as you journey through life, either horizontally or vertically. Because even if you are not growing, where you are, as you are moving, challenges will meet you. And if you are growing vertically, every height has different priesthood. So you need to be consistent. Don't get an answer today and wait until Satan comes again before you go to the altar. When you need an answer, pray until you get it. After you get it, keep praying. It takes persistence and consistency to be effectual in prayer. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray without ceasing. Luke 18:1 says, men ought always to pray, always, and not to faint. Ought always. So there's persistency or persistence, and there's consistency. And then there's revelation. I can't deal with revelation tonight because it's quite boisterous. But you see, your prayer is as effective as the revelation injected into that prayer. The end of prayer is wisdom, a strategy. If light has not come, prayer has not made impact. Don't go pray and walk away until light comes. You are powerful in prayer to the degree to which you access light.
We want to appreciate you. Thank you for watching this powerful video by God's servant Apostle Michael Orokpo. We are happy that you have watched. In case you have not subscribed, don't forget to do so. Like, share, and subscribe. God bless you.